Hey guys, so back here with the Eclipse again. So I think this is gonna be my new project daily. I'm not gonna do anything major to it. Just things to improve the gas mileage, little odds and ends here. I got a couple plans for it, but for today, nothing really cosmetic or anything. But today is going to be exhaust. I found a really cheap set of headers and I guess they call it the test pipe. It goes pretty much halfway back. Really good deal, so I went ahead and got that it'll change the sound a little bit, make it sound a little better, but also to free up some of that exhaust. Should improve my gas mileage a little bit, not really noticeable, but just enough, and I think it'll help the sound a little bit. It don't sound bad, but just one of those things. It was cheap enough, I don't mind doing. So let's go ahead and get a cold start of the floor. There that is, so let's go ahead and jump into this install. Alright, so first things first, either get up on ramps, jack stands, and pull the e-brake. You can chalk the block back, but I know my e-brake works, so I just pulled the e-brake. Second, make sure it's not hot, obviously. Then you're going to want to pull the bottom exhaust. Be these two bolts. I'm gonna pull the sensor out. You're gonna have bolt here, the bolt there. Then you have these two right there for the hangers, and then also your other sensor. Right here. There it is. I knew it was somewhere. Go ahead and pull that out. And the back two bolts behind that cap right there. I can't really get to them at the moment, but you see them. Basically, this kit is going to replace this whole pipe right here, this manifold, and that manifold. Alright, so there's the old pipe. Like I said, it was 2 bolts here, 2 bolts there, 2 bolts there, and the sensor. They were 18 millimeter. I'm sure they'll be the same on pretty much all this body style Eclipses. I think it's like 2000, 2005, somewhere in that area. And here's the new pipe. Well, as you can see, it does cut out this cat right here. Now, for the sensor, since we're cutting this cat out and this cat out too, that one doesn't have a sensor going to it. It doesn't matter. It's just a secondary cat. But this one, since we're cutting this cat out, when you put the O2 sensor in, it's getting all the heat, and it will set a check engine light. So what you do is you can either get the other way to do it. I've done it before. You get the spark plug non-foulers. You drill one side out and then leave the other side so that the O2 sensor will actually screw into it. Or you can get these little O2 sensor spacers. What it'll do is, well, you got a washer that goes there, screw it in, screw the O2 sensor in here, it pulls it out of the heat, and no more check engine light. That's what I have done on my truck, and it works great. I haven't had a check engine light, and I've driven it quite a bit since. But yeah, this will be replacing this pipe. You still have the little flex pipe for any movement. But that's that part. I got this off Amazon. It's DNA, but I think it was like I can't remember the exact company I got it from. Auto Dynasty, something like that. I will try to put a link in the description. Like I said, for this pipe and both headers, it was $127. They shipped extremely fast. It got to me in less than a week, so it was great. Thank you to them. It came from Texas, I believe, so it was pretty far away and it came here quick. But yeah, there's that part, and let's go ahead and get to the next one. Alright, now that bottom pipe is out of the way, we're going to work on this heat shield. Pull this O2 sensor, gotta get the little heat shield cover off, pull it out. Just got a few bolts up top. See, there's 3 right there. That's all I really see. You got a heat shield on the bottom, but I'm not too worried about it right now. Then you see the few bolts. I see, I believe, 4 bolts on the bottom. This cat's actually in good shape. But 3 cats, and I'll show you on the rear. It's very restrictive how it goes up from the motor and then has to come back down. But as of right now, we'll work on this one. I don't know if you can really see the cat too well. It's actually in great shape. But I don't like them, so we're taking it out. You'll have this little bracket here. You can't really see the top bolt. We'll just take this bolt out. 3 bolts on the bottom heat shield. I believe it's only about 3 on top, so let's get that. Alright, got that off. I said, it sits in there like this. You got this little cover. Once you take those bolts out, this will pop off. Get the O2 sensor out. Take the O2 off. It does take some maneuvering. I bent it a little bit right here, but it's not going back on. And then kind of pulled out this way. Takes a little bit of finessing and wiggling around, but don't pry too much up on this. As much as it looks like this is something special, it's not. It was already on the car when I got it, but it's just a sleeve over the hose. You won't be able to see in there, but as you can see, the hose clamp right there, it's just a hose inside there and just slides over it. But you don't want to break the radiator because that would suck. But like I was saying, if you can see, this is kind of like the back one. The back one's a little worse, I believe, but the exhaust has to come up to meet and then go back down, and it's not very efficient. So you take those 3 bolts right there off, the cap in that bottom one, the cat's gonna drop, and then we'll work on the manifold. Alright, got that cat off. Is those 3 bolts. I'd use a different socket for this one because it had to be thinner, but it's a regular non-impact socket. I use the impact socket on the rest. So we're gonna have that bolt there, bolt right there. I believe they're gonna be 14 millimeter. I did get that heat shield off. It was just, I don't have my flashlight. But let's see. Alright, so you have just a bolt there, a bolt there, 3 little 12 millimeters. They actually weren't that tight. Then you got, let's see if you can see it, 1 bolt right there, there, and 1 right there. And then like it's just the 3 on top, and this manifold will come off. Alright, got that off. The bolts really weren't that tight. All I used was a wrench on all of them. Then it goes straight down to the bottom. Just turn it just a hair, and it drops out. Got the old gasket off. Here's the header. Alright, so there's the old manifold and header, and here is what it replaces, or what is replacing it. See a lot, no cat, a lot less restrictive, straight down instead of, you can't really tell, but it goes up and then they all go down. And good thing about this is since this is actually not an O2 sensor, this is it's air fuel sensor technically. They describe it differently, but that's all it is. It's the air fuel ratio sensor, the factory one. So as you can see, it goes straight into the manifold here, so you don't actually have to put any spacer here. So we're good on that one, but let's get started on the rear. Alright, so this back one, it's gonna be hard to see. There it is, a bolt right there. You got one right down from it. It's gonna be hard to see. Yeah, you can see the head of it barely by that pipe where the pipe curves right there. That's all I really see up top. Then you got about 10 on the bottom. So let's see if I can. Where they are. Alright, so you got one there, got one right there, got one up the side right there, right where the light's shining. Alright, there it is. You got two right there, you got one right there and one up from that. Then you got two more on little seat right there, and then one up on the bracket right there. Don't mind the oil leak. That is going to be fixed soon. I'm actually going to be pulling this motor out later on to fix the whole thing, but that's not. I'm not too worried about it at the moment. Like I said, within a month it'll probably be pulled out. But as it is my daily driver at the moment, I'm just getting it to where I can finish the RX-8 and drive it. Right. Finish the RX-8, I want to drive it, but for right now, I just want to do little things to it. So pulling the motor out isn't a top concern. It will be done, but so I'm going to get started on pulling these heat shields off. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and tiny one right there. So let's get at it. Alright, so got 5 of the 6 heat shields off. One's not going to come off till you get the EGR valve. I don't know if you'll be able to see down in there. Got the EGR valve and got a little heat shield around it. But you can see right where the light's shining the most, I'll move it right. There's a bolt there. We'll go ahead and take the last cat off. It'll be that top bolt. You got a bolt right there and one right in there. Then this cat will drop out, and then we can get to all the bolts for the actual manifold. But if you see how it goes up, come back and back down, that's very inefficient. And not only that, if you ever work on the intake manifold, you have to take these bolts out, and they're pain with this manifold. So this exhaust is gonna bypass all this and just go from here down to here, so it'll be much more efficient. But yep, I'm gonna work on taking those 3 off. They should be you can see right there, this should be 18mm. I'm gonna get those off. Alright, so got that one off. I did have one bolt break, but I'm not worried about it since this is all getting replaced. So next, if I can get my flashlight. If I can find a flashlight. Alright, so next, got that one last heat shield, but I gotta take I don't know why I said those were 18, they were 17 on the front, they were 17 in the rear. But I gotta get those 2 bolts for the EGR off, and possibly this to get the heat shield out, because it's blocking a bolt, if you can see right there. But I got a bolt right there, I don't know if you can see, that takes that off. And then same with the front, you got 4 bolts. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you got the 3 on top, which should be one right there, one up in there somewhere if you can see it, and then obviously one up on this side. But yeah, you can still see how it goes up and then comes back down. So alright, well, I'm gonna work on those. Alright, so finally got this one off. The bolt right there was a little bit of pain. I couldn't get this pulled out at first for the heat shield, so I had to bend it up and get that one, but other than that, they were pretty simple, and this is what replaces it. As you can see, this one comes in, goes up, then back down. These just come straight down. So it bypasses actually three of the cats with that pipe. But that is going to be a lot better. So that is the old piece. Very restrictive. Cat, cat, cat. And they both go up, then back down. And here is the new setup. Comes straight out, down, no cat. Straight down, no cat, and no cat. So let's get this put on. The only thing I'm gonna have to do, basically for EGR delete, instead of buying an EGR delete kit, I mean, I'm not planning on tuning this, so I'm just gonna block it off. There's no plug-in going to it, so I'm gonna simply cut right here, put a circle right there, and weld it shut, bolt it back to the intake, and that'll take care of that. Alright guys, so I got these out here, and if you notice, the factory one has the little hanger for the back, has the bolts actually welded to the bracket, so when the bolt goes through the rubber hanger, it just tightens in there. Well, that one didn't come with that, so you'd have to use the factory nut or bolt and get a nut and just use two hands to tighten it. So I went and got bolts and I welded them on. So now it'll be just the same as factory one. I just tightened it in there. I know I didn't get it quite all the way. Yeah, that one's pretty close to even. That one is too, I think. So the only other issue I ran into is, so all these two, this one, the three top and the two middle bottoms fit just fine. The outer ones didn't quite fit. I believe it was out a little bit on the side. So what I did, I just took it to work, and I tried drilling it out, but it's taking too long, so I just took it to work and used a plasma cutter. It's not extremely clean, but it does the job. Just got those out just a hair. And now they should fit fine. I just got back home from doing that, so I haven't quite put them on yet. But we got to find out here in a minute. Alright, so the one that goes to the side is for the front. The one that's straight down is in the back. So I'm going to try and get this on there. Normally you go through the bottom, but I'm pretty sure I can get through the top just because I don't feel like getting under the car right now. Hold that. Watch it. Alright, let's see if this will work. It's a lot smaller, well, bigger technically than the factory one, but I think I can get it in there. Maybe. Maybe not. Oh yeah. Look at that. Alright, let's see if it fits. Please fit. Oh man. Would you look at that? So much cleaner too. But it fits. Yep, just fine. So what I recommend on any time you're working with exhaust, when you put stuff back on, I recommend putting anti-seize on there just like you would spark plugs, because if you could tell, I mean, you'll know heat obviously gets on these and they turn dark, and next time they might not come off as easy. And like one of them on the rear cat, one of them actually broke off, which I didn't care because replacing it all anyways. But I do recommend putting anti-seize back on there. That'll help you if you ever do plan on taking these back off. But like I said, I am taking this motor out, so they probably will be coming back off. But yeah, I'm going to put anti-seize. I'm going to see if I can get the back fitment up, and we'll be back. But I do recommend putting these through the bottom. I just didn't feel like getting on the ground yet. Would you look at that? Got this one on there. Got the what do you call it? Air fuel AF sensor on, plugged up. Looks all clean. So this one I test fitted, and I gotta cut this out just a hair more. I gotta drill it out. It's still hitting right in here a little bit, so I'm gonna do that. And as for the EGR delete, I literally just cut the flange off the pipe, put a little roundish piece of metal on, and welded it around. It's got no actual plug into it, so I can't tell. That's a hole. No, that's not a hole. But it's got no. I'll show you. Nope. The top has a vacuum to it, but if you can see, that's all it is a hole. So I just need to block that off so it doesn't actually suck any air in. I'm leaving the actual actuator, at least for now, because I will probably have to make a block off plate for that. So I can't take that off, cut it, and weld something on there. Luckily this piece was actual metal, so that's just cast iron. But yeah, got that on, about to put that up, and then I just gotta drill a little bit out of each of those, and we'll get that test fitted up. Alright, got the EGR delete on. Makeshift EGR delete, I guess you call it. And got the, oh, let me get this out. Got the second header in the back, fitted up. And just had to grind a little bit, had to persuade it just a hair on the ends, but it's up there. So now I just need to put a little bit of anti-seize on the bolts, get it bolted on, and then we'll get the test pipe. Alright, so a couple snags I ran into. If you can't really see, but the O2 sensor plug right there, since the header takes it farther down, it would not reach. So I made a solution, and like I was saying, the spark plug, or the, not spark plug, the O2 sensor spacer, I just used one of them up there. I didn't want to, but it beats cutting it, and they never really work right. I've tried it, so just use a spacer and it'll read a little wrong. If it ends up messing with the air-fuel ratio, then I'll find something else. And the other situation is the actual O2 sensor. If I put the spacer in there, it comes out to about here, and the sensor can't fit in there. But the solution for that, I can't exactly do right now. I'm just going to put in and deal with the check engine light, and I'm going to order the part. Instead of getting a straight one like that, like that one, you get a 90 degrees, so it comes out and goes up, and then it can bolt in that screw in that way. So that's what I'm going to do. For right now, it'll fit. If I can hold the flashlight and do this at the same time, it'll fit just fine right there. So that's what I'm going to do, and I'll just deal with the check engine light till that comes in, and then I'll change it. But that's the only two snags I've run into this whole deal, except, well, okay, three. The bolt hole's not lining up on this one. Well, on both of them. I had to work that out. I don't know why, because it's supposed to be for this year. So, it might just be how they were made. I might have got some messed up ones, I don't know. But the small plasma, cutting it out or drilling it out if you can, worked just fine. Got everything tight, got everything set up, it's tight. So I'm just gonna put this one on. I've already got the spacer on this one. So all I gotta do is mount it up, put the plug in there. I'm hoping this one fits. I might have to do a 90 degree here too, I'm not sure yet. But all I got left is put that O2 sensor in, bolt this pipe up, put that one in, and let's get her done. Alright guys, so got the install done. See there's the sensor on this side. I don't know if you'll really be able to see much down there. Let's get under here though. Alright, so there's header down, got the spacer. I might end up taking this over little washer out because it's crooked, but the only thing I ran into, you can't really tell, but this is, instead of going straight back, it's curved over a little bit. I guess you might be able to see it right there. But I got the back header on. When I bolted this up, like even without bolting anything up, just setting it down, this one wasn't exactly lining up. So I got all the screws in that one both of them in there. Then kind of got one in here. Had to kind of, if you see the little clamp marks, clamp it. Had to pry in a little bit this way without these in, without the freaking hangers in. But I had to pry it up in there to get this one in. Then I clamped it a little more right here. Got that tight, got this bolt in. It took some finessing and everything, but all in all, not that bad of a header install. I mean, it could have been easier, but then I got pipe all the way back, so we removed this cat, that cat, and that cat. Still have that resonator way back there, and then the muffler. So I'll see how this sounds. I might end up at least deleting this resonator right here, but like I said, all in all, not too bad. It looks a lot cleaner, and I'm hoping that it sounds a lot better. So let's get a bit of a cold start. Let it warm up a little bit before I actually rev it up a little bit, but so far, no, I don't feel any leaks. Best way to do it, just put your hand up here, try not to burn yourself. Quite a little bit of air, it feels like right there, but nothing I'd actually be willing to take it back off for. Burning the little bit of oil I got on there, but I don't feel any leaks. I'm not sticking my hand up there right now, but let's see about back here. No leaks. Yeah, it's gonna smoke a little bit. There's some oil on there, but be all right. Let's give it a few revs. See how it sounds. I don't know if you can also see there's a little bit of oil in there. Not, it's more of old shake-on oil, not anything right now, but give it a few revs. Too bad. I'm hoping it doesn't really sound horrible when I get on it, but we'll find out later. But all in all, clean install. So I like it, looks better. Hopefully it improved my gas mileage a little bit, since all the exhausts that have to come up then back down on both of them. I know my check engine light will be on, but it's on already for the transmission. So when I got this car, it needed a transmission. I bought another donor car and put the transmission in it, but it was out of a 01 and it had different gearing. So I do have a 5-speed for this car. I'm waiting on the clutch and the motor mount, because it's got a different side trans mount, but I'm waiting on those, and then I will be pulling this back out to do that. So I haven't really seen any videos on it, so if you're interested in that, I will be doing that very shortly, because this transmission, it does slip. So yeah, I hope everybody liked this video. I hope it helped someone. If so, hit that like, and if you want, subscribe for the 5-speed swap. It's gonna be fun and kind of complicated, I think, but yeah, hit that notification if you want to see that video. Have a good one.